Hello, welcome to the BT360 podcast, What's Up in Business Travel, a weekly podcast where we update you on what's up this week in the world of business travel. This podcast is great for those who need to know what's happening, all in less than 15 minutes. My name is Ash. Let's get started. It is Monday, April 14th, and we have completed week 14 of 2025. As a reminder, BusinessTravel360.com is a great resource to take advantage of for everything business travel. Here, you can listen to great podcasts, take advantage of bonus points and status match offers, and even have some fun with some great videos. Check all of this out at BusinessTravel360.com. Now, let's get to our headlines. Airfares dropped over 5% from February to March according to Consumer Price Index. It is a continuation from the month prior when the CPI said that fares fell 4% from January to February. The 5% decline, which is adjusted to account for normal seasonal price changes, jibes with reports from airlines since early March of declining domestic demand. On Wednesday, Delta reported a 1% year-over-year decline for the first quarter in passenger revenue per available seat mile, primarily because of domestic softness. Delta also dialed back some capacity plans for the second half of the year. The airline had expected to grow 4%, according to investment analyst Jamie Baker of JP Morgan, but the airline now forecasts zero growth in capacity. Airlines have attributed demand softness to declining consumer confidence and corporate caution caused by the Trump administration's tariffs. After Southwest led in North American on-time performance for the past 2 months, Delta Airlines has recaptured the lead in March. This is according to the latest report from Cirium. Delta's month-over-month performance improved by 2% points to 82.8%, while Southwest dropped 1.3% points to 81%, landing in 5th place. United Airlines was second at 82.5%, while Spirit rounded out the top three at 81.7%, even though its average was down 0.1% points. The on-time performance for March increased 4.8% points month-over-month to 79.5%. A jump for Air Canada to 75% in March from 60% in February helped pull up the average. None of the North American airlines made the March list of top-performing global airlines, which was led by Saudia at 94.1%. 5 out of the 9 reporting airlines had March completion factors of at least 99%, led by Spirit at 99.6%, followed by Delta, Southwest, Alaska, and United. In March, North American Airlines canceled 9,554 flights, down from nearly 13,600 in February. The flight is considered to be on time if it arrives to the gate within 15 minutes of its scheduled arrival time. President Donald Trump's 90-day pause on some tariffs that would have gone into effect on Wednesday sent Wall Street into euphoria territory, regaining much of last week's losses. The S&P 500 spiked more than 9%. The Dow Industrial Average ended the day up almost 3,000 points, or more than 7% to close at 40,608. Travel stocks, which were hammered at the end of last week, surged on the news. United Airlines was up by 26%. Delta was up by 23%. American, Southwest, and JetBlue were up by 11%, 15%, and 19% respectively. Marriott hotels rose more than 10%. Hilton and Hyatt followed at 8% and 14% respectively. American Express Global Business Travel, the only publicly traded travel management company in the U.S., was trading up at nearly 7%. Online agencies Booking.com at nearly 11% and Expedia at 14%. Whether or not this means anything for business travel remains to be seen. After years of delays, the Real ID Act finally will take into effect next month on May 7th. The legislation will require that all travelers to present a Real ID-compliant driver's license or photo ID card or another form of federally accepted identification, such as a valid passport or military ID, to board domestic commercial flights. In order to get a Real ID, travelers need to visit their DMV with the required documentation. All states currently are issuing Real ID-compliant driver's license and ID cards. The TSA published a final rule in January of 2025, which allows federal agencies to implement a phased enforcement of the Real ID Act if needed due to security, operational feasibility, and public impact. In order to avoid delays at security checkpoints, travelers are encouraged to obtain a real ID compliant driver's license, state-issued ID, or another form of acceptable ID. Now in news that impacts the travel industry. Delta Airlines pulled its guidance for 2025 as the trade war scrambles expectations for business and household spendings and depresses bookings across the travel sector. In the first quarter, Delta earned $240 million, or 37 cents per share. A year earlier, it earned $37 million. Stripping out one-time costs and benefits, earnings were 46 cents per share. That's better than 40 cents per share analysts polled by Zacks Investment Research. Shares are down 41% this year for the nation's most profitable airline, which is better than rivals American and United. Quarterly operating revenue climbed to $14 billion from $13.75 billion, beating Wall Street's estimates of $13.8 billion. Delta cut its first quarter earnings and revenue last month, saying at the time that a recent decline in consumer and corporate confidence amid growing uncertainty over the economy was weakening domestic demand. Virgin Australia is offering refunds to more than 60,000 passengers after an internal error led to inflated itinerary change fees being charged over the last 5 years. The airline has apologized and launched an itinerary change claim program as it begins informing customers who are eligible for refunds over the incorrect fees charged to customers making changes to their bookings between April 2020 and March of this year. A Virgin Australia spokesperson said that the company recently discovered the issue and launched an internal investigation in which it's found that about 0.1% of all bookings processed in the 5-year window incurred the incorrect charges. The average refund amount is about $55, though some customers are eligible for as much as $200. The refund program is open for 12 months, and eligible customers will be contacted by the airline. Foreign arrivals into major U.S. airports tumbled in mid to late March compared to the same time last year, based on customs pass-through data. The findings suggest a certain reluctance to visit the U.S. isn't a purely Canadian phenomena and should be sounding alarm bells for the country's $1 trillion plus industry. The number of foreign passengers passing through customs at the 10 busiest airports fell by 20% year over year towards late March. Trade wars, a volatile economy, and political climate and fears of detainment or harassment may be dissuading travelers from visiting the U.S. Several American allies, including Canada, France, Germany, and others, recently issued new travel advisories about U.S. travel. Let's get to the news of mergers and new partnerships. Regional airline Republic Airways has entered into agreement to acquire fellow regional airline Mesa Airlines. The combined company will be called Republic Airways Holdings, listed on the Nasdaq exchange. It will be expected to produce an annual revenue of $1.9 billion. The airlines did not disclose the specific terms of the agreement, but said Republic's purchase will be an all-stock transaction. Upon closing, Republic shareholders will own 88% of the combined company. Mesa shareholders will own between 6 and 12%. Republic Airways operates flights for United Express, American Eagle, and Delta Connection, and is the second largest regional airline in the U.S. behind SkyWest. Phoenix-based Mesa operates flights for United Express. The merger must be approved by the Antitrust Division of the Justice Department and must receive DOT approval. Both companies' boards have approved the deal. The two airlines are targeting a fall closing date. Low-cost airline IndiGo said it will be partnering with Accor to provide extra benefits for the members of the airline's loyalty program, IndiGo Blue Chip, and Accor Loyalty Members, ALL. Travelers who are part of either program will be able to earn and use their points not just for flights or hotel stays, but across both. For example, someone flying with IndiGo might earn points that can be used at Accor hotels, and Accor members can use their points when booking flights with IndiGo. The goal is to make travel more rewarding and enjoyable by offering more ways to use the loyalty points. IndiGo and Accor also plan to work together on marketing and look for ways to grow their partnership over time. Hotel revenue management specialist Duetto has acquired UK-based hotel benchmarking company HotStats. The terms of the deal were not disclosed. The partnership is intended to help Duetto provide hoteliers with a different view of both their top-line revenue and operating performances across rooms, food and beverage, and ancillary services. According to HotStats' website, the platform was founded in 1997 and provides benchmarking for hotel owners and operators, as well as market reports for investors and analysts. Founded in 2012, Duetto is a cloud-based revenue management system designed for the hotel industry, providing insights on pricing, forecasting, and demand. The company is used by more than 6,000 hotels, casinos, and resorts globally. And now, news of new travel services and improvements. Delta Airlines celebrated the opening of its newest Sky Club, a 24,000 square foot lounge at Atlanta Airport. The new club is Delta's 8th Sky Club at the airport, a move aimed at easing the overcrowding issues that have recently affected Delta and other airlines. Located in Terminal D, it is the second largest of the 8 clubs and has the most seatings with capacity for over 500 guests. Delta's Atlanta service is set to grow further this summer with new nonstop routes to Marrakesh, Naples, and Brussels. Hyatt Hotels plans to open 6 hotels in India in 2025, which would bring it to more than halfway of its goal of 100 open properties in the country by 2030. Hyatt plans to open properties in 2025 in Indian locales of Bhopal, Ghaziabad, Jaipur, Kochi, and others. Hyatt currently operates 50 properties in India. Air India Express will transition to an all-economy airline by April 2026, removing business and premium economy seats from its 60-plane hangar. The CEO stated that the shift aligns with the company's strategy to enhance affordability and operational efficiency. Currently operating over 100 aircrafts, Air India Express plans to carry 30 million passengers in 2025 to 2026, a 50% year-on-year increase. The airline has added 37 planes this year. By maximizing seat availability and reducing costs, the airline aims to solidify its position as the leading low-cost airline in India. As demand for budget travel grows, this transition will improve accessibility for passengers while enhancing fleet utilization. A new partnership between American and the U.S. Customs Border Protection will allow some travelers to skip baggage recheck when connecting on international flights. The program, called the International Remote Baggage Screening, enables passengers arriving in the U.S. from certain international airports to go through the Customs Border Protection passport control and head directly to TSA security without the need to claim and recheck their bags. The goal is to reduce connection times and ease one of the major pain points for international travelers. The program launched this week is currently limited to Sydney Airport to Los Angeles. However, both American and the CBP say the program will expand to additional cities in the future. Now, in some technology news. Kayak has announced a new platform to test artificial intelligence and to create new capabilities for travelers that will then become part of its main site. The company described Kayak.ai as a test lab for AI-first features that will make our product even more personalized and conversational, and said it sets itself apart from other tools by offering real-time pricing in conversational search. In a LinkedIn post announcing the news, Kayak's CEO encouraged users to try Kayak.ai and provide feedback. The tool will also move Kayak closer to agentic AI that knows and recognizes travelers' habits and preferences and provides access to trip modifications and customer support. AI is not new for Kayak. The Meta search engine introduced new tools in March of 2024, including Kayak Price Check, which uses image recognition to offer price comparisons from screenshots, and Ask Kayak, a natural language search tool that provides personalized travel planning. Notably, Kayak was also the first of travel brands to create a plugin for ChatGPT. Hilton Worldwide has agreed to enable access to its property management systems to allow the transmission via application programming interface of a single-use virtual card number generated by Confirma. The move will allow hotel personnel to confirm for travelers' bookings through Confirma's platform and authorize use of a virtual card number within the PMS itself while avoiding the need to use email or a fax machine to do so, long a hurdle for virtual card acceptance for hotel payment. The rollout will begin this month with completion planned at the end of the second quarter. A Hilton spokesperson said that the agreement applied to the thousands of Hilton properties globally that use the company's PEP or on-queue property management systems. With that, thank you for joining us, and I would like to ask you to tune in again next week on Monday morning to get your weekly update. We hope that you will make this a regular part of your week and listen in while you're on the move or sitting back and sipping your coffee. You can subscribe to this podcast by searching Business Travel 360 on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, or Pandora. Be sure to share this podcast with everyone you know so that they can also benefit from getting to know more about what's up in business travel. You can always find more information on businesstravel360.com. Have a great day and travel well.
Bye.